In a way, this picture is much more impressionistic, with the young girl as the central object and the boys partially shown, standing on the wall. And there's these two bottles, one's a water bottle and one's really more the bottle of a toddler. There's her expression is interesting, there's the layering, the fence, and so whoever stops and says, how is this hitting me? Or like, what is in there? Or what are the different things in there that I'm being affected by?
I mean, I can't speak for Scott, obviously, but I think that he saw this dichotomy between the young girl and the bigger boys, and I think he probably felt like he could identify them as young black men in this way. And to be critical of the picture, you could say, okay, well, he doesn't give them an identity because he's only showing their sneakers, and what does that do? But I think there's strength in this kind of, it's every man, it's every boy anchoring this little girl in protecting this child.
There's this concept that we see a lot with visual documentation of things like this, and especially relevant in Ferguson, of the innocent victim, and you know how the number bandied about in lots of wars is women and children who are killed. That there's this kind of concept that young men can't be innocent victims.
What I was seeing, especially at the funeral, when people were walking in, they were lined up, and as we started photographing, people started putting their hands up. And you started seeing this everywhere you went. When I asked to do a portrait of somebody, they put their hands up. It was kind of the first thing. In these big national stories, we all kind of play our part. And that what I think this girl represents, it was a way for people to have this voice of how they felt. It's a signal that says, this is where I stand on this, and it's more lyrical than making a sign or anything.
Right, and the child repeats the gesture that they've seen over and over again for a week. That was amazing to me, because I don't think anybody told her to put her hands up for the picture. She saw the camera, she put her hands up. That's pretty intense.
This gets on to, what impact do images have? Do they change situations? Do they alter the course of things? And I think it's impossible to ever link that to a specific image, and I don't think we have any historical examples of that. But they get inserted into moments, and that they help crystallize thoughts, around them that are forming anyway because of the way social movements are working, or protests are moving, or politics is working, and so on. And there's this kind of interactive thing going on, even with still images. There's an interactive thing going on.